Okay, so we will discuss about Great Circle Sailing Part 1. Circle Sailing Part 1. Okay, so here we will discuss how to calculate, how to solve, okay, Great Circle Distance. Okay, yan, isosolve natin yan. Initial course, final course. Okay, yan. So before that, we must go on to the diagram, no? Anong itsura ng ating diagram ng triangle, what is yung labeling ng parts ng triangle natin, no? So we can determine the great circle distance, initial course, and final course. So anong itsura ng ating spherical triangle? So okay, ito ang magiging itsura ng ating spherical triangle. So ganyan, na. Lagi nyo lang tatandaan yung itsura, okay? So that madali nating ma-solve yung mga problems, okay? So this one would be the malaking C yan. This is yung maliit na C. And this is your capital B. This is your capital A. Small a and B. Okay? So that is the diagram of a spherical triangle. So we will label, no, yung mga components. So ang C natin na component, this is our great circle distance. Okay, yan ang great circle natin. Distance is your C. And your A will be the angle na ito. Will be your, that would be your initial course. And for this one, yung B na to, okay, capital B, this would be your final course. Now, what is this A na to? And this B, also this one na C. Now, yung malaking C na yan would be our difference of longitude. Okay? And the B will be your latitude 1 minus 90 degrees. And your A na maliit will be your latitude 2 minus 90 degrees. Okay? Bakit tayo nag-minus ng 90 degrees? Okay? Bakit tayo nag-minus ng 90 degrees sa ating latitude? Simply because if this is the, tanggalin ko muna ito ha. If this would be the latitude, no? Okay, yung latitude 1 mo yan, no? May extension yan. Okay. So we are looking for the distance from your latitude to the pole. Okay, so kukunin natin yung distance nito. Okay, so determine the distance, we must subtract it by 90 degrees. The latitude 1 must be subtracted by 90 degrees to determine the distance of this one to the pole. No? Same dito sa kabila. Here. No? We must subtract it by 90 degrees. Okay? So that is the labeling of the parts. Okay? So now, how to solve for the natin, yung great circle distance, no? By using the law of cosines. Okay? law of cosine. Okay. Now, to solve for the distance using law of cosine, gagamit tayo ng cosine law, which is we are solving for the side c, na small c. So, the formula will be cosine c, okay, is equal to cosine a, okay, times cosine b plus or minus natin, plus or minus sine a times sine b times your cosine c times cosine c na malaki. Okay? Yan ang formula niyan na. Ulitin natin. We will lalagay natin sa clear na presentation para mas makita nyo. Okay? So the formula for finding the great circle distance is equal to by the law of cosine is equal to cosine c is equal to cosine a times cosine b plus or minus, okay, sine a times sine b times cosine c na malaki. No? Yan. So, cos, 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 sin, sin, cos. Yan. Para madaling ma-memorize. Okay. So, on your calculator to solve this one, no? Yung kung ano yan is you do open parenthesis. No? Ganyan. Open parenthesis, cosine A, cosine B, plus or minus sine A times sine B times cosine C. Gagamit tayo ng plus when at same latitude or same na hemisphere and subtract naman if different na latitude. Okay? Tandaan nyo lagi yan. Okay? So, how to solve naman? Solving for the initial course and final course. What is the formula using the law of cosine? Now, the first step is you must determine the distance. So that on the solving for the initial course and the final course, magagamit natin yung C na yan. So for solving for initial course, okay, the formula is this one. We are looking for this A. So cosine A is equal to open parenthesis natin. Ganito yung calculation sa calculator. Cosine A, okay, minus cosine B, okay, times cosine C, okay, close. Then, you divide it by sine B times sine C na small letter. Okay, so this would be the formula for solving for the initial course. Okay, and for solving for the final course, we will use the law of cosine. Okay, cosine B is equal to open parenthesis cosine B minus cosine A, okay, times cosine C, yeah, close parenthesis, divided by sine A times sine C na small letter. So this would be the formula, okay, and I will explain to you later on ano yung mangyayari sa cosine B to determine the final course, no? Kasi may process pa yan, okay? So, These are the formula used for finding distance, initial course, and final course. Now, we will do some example problems, okay? And we will solve, no? So, sabi ko kanina, don't forget this diagram, yung sa diagram natin, okay? At kung ano yung mga values, huwag kakalimutan, importante yan. So, irisin ko muna ha, yan. So, yan, irisin natin. So, we will solve for problem solvings, okay? So, we will do some problem solving. Great circle, circle, okay? Now, we will calculate for the great circle track, okay? Ito, problem solving natin. So, from A, point A is 20 degrees, 07 minutes west, degrees west, sorry. From B will be 40 degrees north, 050 degrees west. Okay, so this will be our example ng problem solving. Okay, now the first thing to do is we must label the parts. Okay, so i-assume nyo pa rin na nasa triangle siya, no? I-assume nyo lang lagi. Okay, so that malilabel natin yung parts. So here, we must solve for the following. Okay, the great circle distance, the initial course, the final course. Okay, yan. So we label first everything. So this would be your capital C. This is your small c, your big B, your small b, A, and capital A. Now, sabi ko kanina, yung small c is your distance. This is your C. Ha? Yan yung GCD natin. Your B is your final course. Okay, final course natin yan. And your A is your initial course. Okay? So, your B, kumputin muna natin yung mga kailangan. So, we have here the C, which is your DLO, no? Yung C natin. DLO. Okay? Kukumputin muna natin yan, yung B and A. No? Which is ito yung C. Ulitin ko, C yan. Okay, C yan, na maliit. Your initial course is your A na malaki. Your final will be your B. Your C will be your D long. Your B is equal to latitude 1 minus 90. Your A is equal to latitude 2 minus 90. Okay? So first, i-label muna natin lahat ng parts. Okay? So, hanapin muna natin yung DLO. Okay? So, our difference of longitude here is because they are the same name, yung longitude, no? Minus. So, the answer will be 20 minutes is, no, galing kang 70, you're going to the east. So, 20 degrees yung ating DLO is, now we will solve for the B. Okay, so latitude 1, this one, your latitude 1. Okay, so 90 minus 20, okay, is equal to 70 degrees. So your B is 70 degrees. Okay, and for the A, okay, your latitude 2 is 90 minus 40. Okay, so equivalent yan ay 50 degrees. Okay, that is the equivalent. Okay, 50 degrees. So now by here, we can now calculate for the great circle distance. Okay, so ililabel lang muna natin yung DLO mo ay 20 degrees, yung A mo ay 50, yung B mo ay 70. Now, we can solve now for the we can now solve for the distance. Okay, so the calculation for distance is cosine C is equal to cosine A times cosine B. Yan. They are on the same latitude, so you add. Okay, sine A times sine B times cosine na malaking C. Okay, that is the formula. Cosine A times cosine B plus sine A times sine B times cosine C na malaki. Now, ililabel natin. Okay? Sa calculator, ganito ang magiging calculation yan. Open parenthesis, then cosine A. So, your cosine A is 50 degrees times cosine B na 70 degrees plus sine A 50 sine 50 times sine 70 times cosine DLO is 20 degrees. Okay? So, on your calculators, okay, gagawin nyo dyan is to open parenthesis muna, ha? Then, cosine 50 times cosine 70 close parenthesis plus open parenthesis sine 50 times sine 70 times cosine 20 degrees. Yan. Then, equals. Okay? So, the answer would be 0.8962, wait, 6280576. Okay? Yan dapat yung magiging sagot. Okay? And, we do the cosine to negative 1. Okay? Cosine to negative 1. Shift cosine. Answer. So, ang lalabas dyan ay 26.32 or 33. No? Then, degrees yan. To solve for the distance, we must multiply this by 60. Okay, multiply it by 60. So, the distance will be, okay, the distance will be 1,000, 1,579.5 nautical miles. Okay, so already we calculated the distance is equal to 1,579.5 Okay, yun yung sagot natin. The value is equivalent to 1,579. Okay, so that is the value of the C, yung distance natin. Now, we will calculate for the initial course naman. Okay, we will calculate for the initial course. Okay, so i-resign natin yan. So, ang initial course natin ay yung A. Okay, so A yung initial course natin, this one. Okay, yan. So, we had already determined our great circle distance, which is 1,579.5. Okay? Now, we will determine the initial course. Yung unang course niya, gaganon kasi yan. Yan, gaganyan. No? So, we will determine, okay, by the formula cosine A is equal to close open parenthesis, cosine A. Nasundan niya din yung calculation, no? Sa calculator. Kaya ko ginagawa yung may parenthesis. Minus cosine B times cosine C. Okay, yung kanina, yung cosine C natin. Okay. Yan. Close. Then, open sine B times sine C na maliit. Okay, label. Yun ang kagandahan, no? Pagka alam natin yung A, B, C. No? Mas madali nating nalilabel yung mga parts. Okay, for open. Yan. Cosine A. What is our cosine A? Is 50 degrees times cosine B, which is 70, times cosine C. Yung cosine C natin kanina is 26.32. Okay? Divided by yan. Sine B. Yung sine B natin ay 70 degrees times sine C na 26.32. Yan. Yan. So, sa ating calculators, okay, open parenthesis, cosine 50 times cosine 70. Ay, hindi. That is minus. I'm sorry. Okay, ulitin natin ha. Buti napansin ko. Okay. Oops. Cosine 50 minus cosine 70 times cosine 26.32 plus divided by open sine 70 degrees times sine 26.32. Okay? Yan. Dapat ang lalabas dyan ay 0.80683433 3433. Okay? And we cosine raised to negative 1 shape cos answer. The answer would be 36.19. North is because of the direction. So, or pag northeast to 3 figure is 36.19. degrees true. So this is our initial course. Our initial course is 36.19 true. Okay. Now we will solve for the final course. Okay, so we will solve for the final course. Okay. So, na-determine na natin yung ating initial course. Okay, ito. This angle. Okay, so this angle is 36.19 true. Okay, yun yung angle na yan. Now, we will determine for the final course. Okay, so in determining the final course, we will use again the law of sine formula, which is cosine B. Okay, is equal to cosine B minus cosine A, okay, times cosine C divided by sine A times sine C. Okay, so ililabel natin yung mga parts. Cosine B is 70 minus cosine A na 50. Okay, times cosine C. Okay, over sine A na 50 times sine C na yung sine C natin kanina is the 26. Hindi ako nagkakamali. That is, yun, yung kuha natin kanina. 26.32. 26.32. So, this would be 26.32. Okay? Now, we solve. Okay, solve natin. So, here, we will do cosine 70 minus cosine 50 times cosine 26.32. Yan. Divided by sine 50 times sine 26.32. So, yan. Lalabas dyan ay negative 0.689325633. Now, solve cosine raised to negative 1 or shift cosine answer. Lalabas dyan ay 13358 degrees. Okay? So, this is not yet the correct answer, yung 133.58. Kasi ito yung 133.58. Yan. We are looking for this one. Yung itong course na to. Yan. Kasi kung tatanggalin natin yan, no? Tapos ilalagpas natin. Yan, kita nyo? Tapos may quadrant dito. Okay? Yung hinahanap nating course ay yung course na to. Okay? So, yung 133 ay somewhere here. So, we need to get the reciprocal na course. Yung yung reciprocal ng 133 degrees. Okay? So, the reciprocal of this, you must subtract it by 180. So, your final answer for initial is 180 minus 133.58 equals 46 degrees. Tamang sagot. Tamang sagot dyan ay 46 degrees. 46 degrees, 25 minutes. Okay, yan ang correct answer dyan. So, 46 degrees, 25 minutes ang final course. 46 degrees. Sorry. 25 minutes. True. Okay, so we already know the initial course. Okay, then final course. Okay, so these are the procedures on how to take for great circle distance. Okay, meron tayong distance na 1,579.5 and we get the initial course 36.19 through, or we can convert that into full degrees kung anong equivalent niya, or 36 degrees 11 minutes, and final course is 46 degrees 25 ay 46 degrees 25 minutes. So as long as you know the labeling, okay, ng ating spherical triangle ay hindi tayo malilito sa paglalagay ng ating mga values. Okay, so yun yung isang technique dyan. So this is the procedures, no? So abangan natin yung part 2 because pag-usapan natin doon is yung vertex. No? What is a vertex? And what is the procedure to solve for the latitude and longitude of vertex? At ano yung vertex? Okay? Sige. Abang tayo sa sunod na video.